Again, so my name is David. I'm the founder of LETAL TCG, a trading card games that includes some tactic aspect. Today we're gonna play a game to show you how it works, how it runs, see if you might like it or not. I'm quite sure you will, just like we did. And also we're gonna share some thoughts about our company, Imagine Dayhem, which is the owner of the game. And we'll talk to you about what we see, what we forecast for the future of the company, where we are heading, where we are now, because we're just getting started with the company. We need to get in touch with you people. We're gonna share with you our thoughts about how we want to grow, why we think it's a really good way to do it, why we think you're gonna like it. So we're gonna talk about that while playing. And of course, first thing we'll do, we're gonna explain you the game. So whenever you play LETAL TCG, first thing you need is a small grid, so a 6x6 grid. Anything that has 6x6 square will do it. In that case, we've got a little board with the cases, but anything, even just a piece of paper will do it. It's only to position the heroes so we know where the heroes will be. And then you'll need, of course, decks, as this is a game building deck, so you need your decks. For each deck, you'll need a hero card, just like this one. I guess we can see it from top there. And you'll need to have their respective decks. All of the decks need to have at least 30 cards, up to 35. You cannot play more than 35 cards. And if you have in between that number, you can use the extra card, let's say from 30 to 35, to do sideboarding at the beginning of the game if you want to do so. So 2 decks of 30 cards, that's the minimum you'll need, plus your hero card, and you'll need some friends to play with too. So the game is mostly designed for 2 versus 2 player, and you can also play it at 1 versus 1, but the main competitive game will be 2 versus 2. But today we're gonna play 1 versus 1. We have some other videos where you can see how to play 2 versus 2. But we just want to show the dynamic. It's a much more fast-paced game when you play 1 versus 1. Definitely. And it will have a little less depth because we're gonna use the board a little less, but it's still quite fun. So we want to show that to you today. So once we have our heroes, we are ready to get started. So first thing we do, we show our hero to the opponent. So that way, want to proceed with some sideboard, we know what we're gonna face. So right now, I know that I have a wizard and a warrior, and my opponent has a rogue and a cleric. So if I want to do sideboard, I could do it right now. Obviously, we have already done that before. So once that is done, you just shuffle your decks and put those aside next to your hero card. And Andre has already done it. So I'll just finish to do it. Okay, once that's done, you're pretty much almost ready to play. Before we get started, we'll just cover the hero card because this is a very important part of the game. So your hero has a name on top. So that one is Ukor, Echo of the Night. Whenever you build your decks, even if you play a team game or just a solo game, you cannot have more than 1 hero with the same name. So you always need different names for all your heroes. After that, you'll see the hero type pretty much in the middle. So that one is a wizard, which means that if I want to play this hero, the only cards I'm allowed to have in my decks are wizard cards or generic card. You are allowed to have other type of heroes card, but you won't be able to use those, so there's very little interest in doing so. On the top left corner, you'll have a red fist, and that is your endurance or your life point. So you start the game with that many life point, endurance, and if that hero reaches 0, that hero will die. On the right side, you have a spell book with 2 numbers on it. So the left number, the smaller one, is the starting end size. And the right number, the bigger one, is your maximum end size. In this game, you cannot have more cards in hand than that number at any time. Never. So if I have 5 cards in hand and I will draw a card, I will just skip that draw instead. You're not allowed to do so. Okay, so that covers pretty much. Then there's that text box on the below that are your typical heroes abilities. In that case, you core as once per turn action, so you can do that as an action during your turn. You remove a card from your hand from the game, and if you do so, you may play an action card from your discard pile this turn, and then remove that card from the game. And if you do it, you'll lose 1 endurance, which is just like an alternate cost. And so all the heroes have different abilities. Like, of course, if I do choose that one, well, that one will draw cards whenever he deals damage. So you just read that and make sure you get your good synergy with it. Plus, which is really important, all the heroes have what we call the innate skills. The innate skills are the basic stuff that your hero will be able to do all the time, or pretty much, which are like the basic action you would expect to be able to do. So first thing you think you should be able to do is to move your hero. So the first thing that this card says, which are the innate skills, so it's just like a side card that you can put with your hero if you need it as a reminder, and you just keep it on the side. It goes well that way. So first thing, you want to move. So what it says that as an action, you may hide a card to move 1, and then refresh. When we say hide a card, it means that you grab 1 card from your hand and you place it under your deck. So it will not go into your discard pile, it will go under your deck, so you won't have the discard pile benefit. And then you do the action. In that case, it would be move 1, and then you refresh. What refresh means? It's a very important keyword in this game. So whenever you play, you may only play 1 card per turn, but if that card has the refresh keyword, it means that you can play once more. So you can play another card after that, and if all your cards have refresh, you might play your entire hand on your turn. So that simply means play again. Another thing you expect your hero to do is to hit the opponent, which is the base of the game, right?
Very useful thing when the goal is to put your opponents to 0.
Exactly. So once again, as an action, which means during your turn, you may hide a card to deal 2 physical damage. It's important. We have 2 types of damage, the physical ones and the magical one. It's slightly different. So you do 2 physical damage to any adjacent opponent. We'll cover more about the adjacent and range and radius things later on during the game. Another thing you would expect your hero to do is to take some rest. When you take a rest, so you disable your hero, so basically you turn it sideways, and as an action, so during your turn. And by doing so, you may draw a card and gain back 1 endurance. This is very useful if you need more cards, if you have nothing else to do. Although, when a hero is disabled, when it's turned sideways, it cannot do anything anymore until your next turn. So you won't be able to use trick cards during your opponent's turn, and you won't be able to defend yourself. You're totally disabled, so you'll just take full hits if that happens. Another thing that you would expect your hero to be able to do is to defend itself. So you want to block whenever you're being attacked. So that's the almost last one. So that's as a trick. When we mention trick, it means that you can play it whenever the situation happens, even if it's not your turn. So you hide a card. So once again, you grab a card and place it under your deck. And by doing so, when you're being attacked, you may prevent the next 2 physical. So it's only for physical damage. It won't work for magical damage. And so you prevent the next 2 physical damage from 1 source. So the hit that you'll get. And you may only do that at beginning of combat. So whenever you're being attacked, This is when you decide if you block by hiding cards. And you may do that more than once. So you can use your entire hand if you want to prevent that many damage multiplied by 2. And we have also one little extra skill that is, I think, rather nice. It's that whenever an ally die, you draw a card. So that's like the little burst inside, like you're like, no way that I will just let you kill my friends without any response. So it's like a burst of energy that your heroes get. So, and that's really handy. It helps to balance things a little more.
It's a nice revenge mechanism.
So that covers pretty much the hero. Of course, the more you play, the more you get used to that. So with that being said, I think that we are ready to get started. So once we are ready with our hero, what we'll do is that both players will place their hero's token, miniature or whatever you want, on the grid, wherever you want, but always on your 2 first line. If we play 2 versus 2, it's still the same rules, so we will choose one side for the team and one side for the other team, and then we place our hero where we think will be the best position. And we do that at the same time, so you cannot really take advantage of what your opponent decides to do. And if you will play like in more competitive way, you will have to provide a sheet to tell where you will place your hero all the games. As I have a warrior hero, so it likes to be in the middle, so I'll play that one in the middle. And the mage, the wizard, they like to stay a little farther, so I will take one side and put it not in the middle. So that way I will probably have better odds at gaining more time. So my heroes are set, they will do the same.
I go opposite.
Okay.
Right there.
All right.
One beside another for a specific reason.
Okay, and that's it. We're ready for turn 1. And some heroes, like Leona, have abilities that happens at the beginning of the game. So it will be, that is when we do it. So
yeah, so at the beginning of the game, Gleona places a strength counter on herself and up to one adjacent ally, which is gonna be Jarl, my other hero, and this is the reason why I put them that way.
alright, so, and then we'll roll a die. The higher will play first. Okay, it's not really you choose, it's really you win or you lose. So I rolled 5 and Andre rolled 4, so I'm gonna play first. Get started. So before the games get started, everyone may draw their starting hand size. So
yes.
I draw 4 cards for Ukor, and I'll draw 4 cards for Nald.
And I'm already set up.
And now we go into the first turn. Turns happen to be played by phases. So the first phase is whenever you re-enable the hero. So if it's disabled, you turn it back on. Then you do the beginning of turn effects, if any happen. Then you draw a card, but unlike many other games, the first player don't get to draw their first card of the game. So I'll just get my draw, and I'm already ready for the main phase. So for each hero, you may play cards in the order you want. Any hero, and once you play a card for a hero, if that hero could play another card, it can be delayed, and you can change the order depending on your liking. So what I will do first, I will play an aura card. When you play aura card, just like that one, unlike the action cards, whenever you play an action cards, it just happen once and then it's over. You place it into your discard pile. The aura cards, they goes under your hero and they remain there for the remaining of the game unless stated otherwise. So I'll play that card, Focus, which will make all my attacks a little bigger, so over time. And whenever I play that card, it says whenever you play this card, you lose 2 endurance. So that hero is gonna lose 2 endurance, so he's now down to 9.
That's great news. For me, at least.
Mm-hmm. And as this card doesn't have the refresh keyword, it means that my wizard cannot play anymore and its turn is over. For my brood, now I will It's a tough call. I think I will just. Yeah, I'll try to put some pressure on him. So I'll use a card, hide a card, to move one. So I move by one case. You can never move in a diagonal, so it always have to be up, down, left, or right. Nothing can happen in diagonals in this game. So I move one by hiding a card, and now I'm in line with Gleona, which is our priest. So I'm gonna use set of dagger that I'm gonna place there. So set of daggers says deal 1 damage to any opponent within range 3, and if that it, I refresh. So if that it, I'm gonna be able to play again. And because of my ability, of my hero's ability, if that will hit too, I would get to draw a card. And it says at range 3. Range is only on straight line, but you can count the number of cases. So range 3 means that I can shoot 1, 2, 3, so I can reach Gleona. Or I could go on the other side, but there's no way I can shift on a diagonal move or just counting on sideways. So I shoot Gleona, so I want to deal her 1 damage, and if that is, I may still play and draw a card.
I'll take it.
So Andre decided not to block it, so now I can still play, and I'll draw the card because Null's ability says that whenever an attack deals damage for the first time during your turn, you draw a card. And then what I'll choose to do is I'm gonna play another card too, which is, I'm gonna show it there. So it's called Crown of Thorns. So that card let me draw 1 card at the beginning of each of my turn, which is a quite good card. But in the downside, I'm gonna lose 1 endurance at the beginning of that turn too. So I think that's a good trade. So this is placed on my hero. That card doesn't have refresh, so my turn is over. Now it's Andre's turn.
Yep. So at the start of my turn, I'll draw a card for each of my heroes. The starting player doesn't draw, so he may move first, but the second player has the advantage of having an extra card in his hand.
I think that most of the time it's almost always better to go Sagan in this game.
Yeah. Okay. What am I gonna do now?
And we're playing this game with a very competitive decks. I think those are the strongest deck you can play right now, but of course it's up to your liking. So I mean, you can fine tweak the decks to have more movement, more defense card, all that. But I think those are really good.
I believe these decks are really good too. So I'll start with Jarl, and I'll play an aura, main gauche on him. So once per turn, I can do an action, lose 1 endurance, and deal 1 damage to any adjacent opponent, and it gets refreshed when I do the action.
Yeah.
So I'll
not when you play the card.
Yeah, when I play the card. So I'll be able to do another thing soon.
No, not with him. When you play main gauche, you don't get refresh.
No. It's,
all right. Yeah. Okay,
it's after the action. It's not the card that gets.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry. So I believe. I don't like that at all. I'll move 1.
All right.
And then it's your turn.
Okay. So you might choose. I think it's a good point there because Gleona still have refresh because she used a card to move 1. But even if you can still do action, you don't have to use it. So he chose not to rest, and you just skip the turn. So that's something you can do. And one good point too is that whenever you move, you don't have to take the full move. So if you have a card that says move 2, you may only move 1 or even 0 if you'd like to do so. Okay, so that's my turn. So beginning of turn, I will get to draw a card from the Crown of Thorn. So I draw a card and I lose 1 endurance. So I'm now down to 13. So I guess that 7 plus 6 will do. So I drew that card and now I go into my draw phase to draw a card for each hero. Alright. So what I'll do first with Ucore, yeah, I think I'll do that, yeah. So with Ucore, I'm gonna go and use Sunlight Promenade, which has move 2. Oh, I'm gonna place it there. And then I refresh, and the next time that I will deal magical damage this turn, I will deal 1 more damage. So I moved simply 1, 2. I'd like to stay there. Oh no, wait, I need to, yeah, I just need to get my reach. Good. Where's that card? Oh, jeez. I had I don't have the card I thought I had, so.
Focus.
Yeah, focus. All right, so I'll just, I think I'll go here. I think that's a good spot.
It's a very defensive position.
Yeah, it is. Because I thought I'd had another card in hand, which changed everything. But that's all right. I choose to go there, and I unfortunately don't have any attack card, and I think this spot is safe. So I'll choose to disable my hero to gain 1 endurance and draw a card. Hopefully I won't be wrong, but I think this is far enough to play that card. With the other hero, what I will do, yeah, I'll try to, I'll do that. So I'll use Open the Path, so that one's done, into the discard pile. So I'll play Open the Path. So that card says move 3, and you move through occupied cases, which won't be the case now. So I'll just move 3. 1, 2, and 3, and then it says you lose 1 endurance, and then you refresh. So I lose 1 life, so I'm down to 12, and I may still play. And then for my next attack, what I'll try to do is will go with a really big attack, which is Weak Spots. So Weak Spot says you deal 3 damage to any adjacent opponent, and if that attack is not blocked, this will deal 6 instead. And if it's blocked, I will get to draw a card and refresh. So it's 2 really bad choice for him.
But I'll block 2 damage. So I'll just take 1.
So he'll take 1, which let me draw a card because of my ability. And because he blocked it, I draw a card. So I draw 2 cards from this. And I may still play, which is great. And now, because...
Great for him, that's for me.
Well, it's a great move. You'll see this game is very oriented on the attack. There's some very good defense cards if you want to play that way. But most of the time, attack is a good solution.
It is very unforgiving.
Yeah,
also.
it is. So now I'll go with another incredible card, which I think, in my opinion, is the best card in the entire set. So that's Destructive Slash, which says deal 4 damage to any adjacent opponent. And if that hit, I may search my deck for any attack card with base attack less than the damage dealt. And if I do so, I may play it right after this.
I'll block for 2 again, so
So
I'll take
2. But wait, I'll play a trick card, which is stronger than it looks. So by doing that card, so my attack will deal 2 more damage.
Yeah, so I'm at 7.
So I'm dealing 4. So right now I may go and search for any card that has base attack less than damage dealt. So that has 3 or more base attack. And play it. Although that card will not get refresh.
This is very enjoyable for me.
How many unruns you have?
7.
And 1 card in it?
2.
2 cards in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I maybe stay alive.
That one's big. And I think I'll go with a really bold move. So I'll go and search for Desper's Hit, another really big card.
Oh no.
So that one says, whenever I play it as an additional cost, I may lose any amount of endurance, and that attack will deal 3+1 for each endurance that I choose to lose that way to any adjacent opponent, and then I will draw a card. So that's base 3, and I think I'm gonna, if I push it to 11, that will probably be gain. Yeah, okay, I'll do a very bold move. So I will choose to lose 9, 8, push him at, yeah, I'll choose to lose 8 endurance, which will leave me down to only 4. So I hope he doesn't have a good trick card on that one, because I'm pushing all out for 11 damage in total. So that's a massive turn.
And whatever I do, Leona's gonna die. Even if I block 4, I don't have any defense card in hand, so yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
So Leona's dead. I get to draw a card. And he gets to draw a card too with Jar because of the burst of energy that happened. So that was a great turn for me. One thing that really matters in this deck, even if a hero die, everything that he played before remains on the battlefield. So Jar still get the strength counter and all that. And I guess that's it for me.
Well, that was a good turn.
Yeah, well, I'm down to 4.
Yes.
And the other one is disabled, so you have
I know.
all the luxury you want.
Yes.
And I only got 3 more cards in it. As that one is disabled.
You got 3 cards in it?
Yeah. And that one
That's
got coupled, but
kind of a lot still.
yeah, it is. That was a great turn. I think it's my best turn so far
Probably.
for turn 2. And I didn't have much in hand, but when I drew those 2 extra cards, I just drew nuts.
Okay, I'll play Silent Move.
Sure.
So I'll move 3. My movement ends as soon as you become adjacent to any other hero.
Yep.
And I refresh. So
Yeah.
1, 2. I'll stop there. I'll use my Megos action. So I'll lose 1 life.
And you will deal me
1 damage.
1 plus the strength. So
Yeah, so 2.
so that
And
plays
if that hits, you get a poison counter.
Yeah. Alright. I don't think I need that card, and I don't really want to get the poison yet. So I'll hide a card to defend 2. So
Great.
I block everything.
So I'll play Sneak Attack.
sure.
Move 1, deals 1 damage to any adjacent opponent. If that hits, refresh.
Well, it's gonna be
And
3.
I shall not move, so it's gonna be 3+1, so 4 damage.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a +1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm blowing too hard. Okay, so 4.
I had great plans with Leona, but the other half of the plan is still okay.
Yeah, I guess so. And I cannot really take much, because if I get poison and I'm down to 4, I will die really quickly. Okay, so I'll block 3 using a card. And 2, I'm sorry about that.
So you take 2 and a
well,
poison counter.
and I will play a trick card, because I've got good hands.
I get.
So I'll play a trick card, which is invincible. So trick cards can be played at any time. So that one says I will prevent the next 3 damage from any one source, and then I will gain 1 endurance. So that way I'll just fully block the attack.
Okay.
I will block 5 in total, and I gain 1 endurance. So I'm up to 5.
Oh, that's inconvenient.
And because that doesn't hit, you don't get to refresh. Yeah, so I've blocked it.
That's great.
Yeah, that's really good for me.
So yeah, that's my turn.
Next turn. So first thing you do, you just re-enable your heroes. So beginning of turn, I get to draw a card from the crown of turn, but I'll go down to 4.
Yeah.
And then I'll draw my card of the turn for both heroes. And, alright, so that's a little boring. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. So my mage doesn't have much headaches on him right now. So I'm gonna play a regeneration potion. That's a card that makes me gain 1 endurance at the beginning of my turn. And if I cannot gain endurance, that card will just be destroyed. So I'm still at 10. At the beginning of my next turn, I will gain 1 life. For the other hero, I guess that will be nice. I'll try to push on him. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'll use. No, you've got plenty of cards. Okay, I'll just play duel. So place it right there. So duel says I deal 3 damage to any adjacent opponent, and you cannot play trick during this combat. Although you can still block by using cards, and if that's it, I will get to refresh.
I'll just bluff with 4.
All right, so no hit.
No.
All right.
Ain't no way I'm letting you refresh.
And nothing happens there. So my turn's over. Up to you.
Yeah, so I'll draw. Okay. So I'll use my action. I'll lose 1, go to 10, and you take 2. And if that is it, I refresh.
Yeah.
Well,
no. You always
I
refresh
refresh
on my
anyway,
card.
so.
Okay, I'll block it
Okay.
because I'm really prone.
Yes. And then I'll play.
So no more cards in hand. So whatever he'll do next, I cannot do anything.
Yeah, so I'll play Dagger Stab.
Yeah, so I'll take that too.
Yeah, and you get a bleeding counter and a poison counter.
And a poison counter. So bleeding and poison counters are very similar to each other. So poison counter me says that at the beginning of my turn I lose 1 entrance, and bleeding do the same, but if I gain back entrance, the bleeding counter goes away. So those 2 are on my hero, which will make him die beginning of its turn.
And I draw and I refresh.
Yeah.
And I'll play Shift.
Sure.
So I move 1, I cannot end my movement adjacent to an opponent. I draw a card and I refresh again. So
Yep.
I'll play here. I'll draw and refresh, and then I'll play Cut Off Speed. Whenever I attack for the 2nd time each turn, I draw a card.
Yep.
It's an aura, so right.
This is honor. That's good.
And it's your turn.
That's my turn. So you just left me in pain.
Yeah.
Right? You chose not to kill me.
Well, I do my job.
Okay. All right. So beginning of turn, and that's something really important that happened there. So first thing I'll do, whenever all the action happen, you choose the order you resolve them. So first thing I'll do, I'll just gain the life there for the regeneration potion, and then I will have the option to draw a card and lose 1 entrance, and twice lose 1. So I'll try the Crown of Thorn to draw a card and lose 1 endurance, just in case that might save me. I knew it wouldn't, but I tried.
Speaking of the poison counter and the bleeding counter, what kind of damage are they classified? Are they
It's
physical?
regular. It's physical,
So-
but well, it's life loss. It's life loss. So you just cannot respond.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I lose 1 life from 1, and that's it. So my hero's dead. So we'll just remove the counter from the game. So that one's dead too, and because he dies, well, I get to draw a card with that hero. And this is still all in the beginning of turn. Now I will go to the draw phase, but as you can see, that hero, Ukor, already has 5 cards in hand, so I don't get to draw anything. I just keep it. All right, so what I'll do, okay. I'll use the Sunlight Promenade, which says,
Again.
yeah, another one, which says move 2, and then my next attack will deal 1 more magical damage. So I move only 1 because that's enough. And I will play Lightning. Some of the attacks have the radius keyword. So when you play range attack, it's only in straight line. But if you play radius attack, you can change direction while you're counting your cases. So that one says deal 4 magical damage to any opponent within radius 3, and then I may deal 2 damage to another adjacent opponent, but that's not the case. So I deal 4 to within radius 3. So 1, 2, 3, that will be a hit, or 1, 2, 3, that's still a hit. So you'll see that makes a round shape around your hero that you can target. So I'm gonna deal 4 plus the 1 of the Sunlight Promenade effect. So I'm dealing 5 magical.
Yeah.
And because it's magical, you cannot use card to defend. So the only thing you can use is tricks.
Well, unlike it's specified.
Yeah. All right, and that card says at the end of it that I lose 1 endurance, so I lose that 1 life. All right, so that's it.
So my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
I'll draw.
And oh wait, at the end of turn, just focus says that end of turn, if I've dealt magical damage, I place a focus counter on it, and that will make my attacks bigger. So,
this is very annoying. I'll use coordinated movement, so I'll move 1 up to 1 ally may move 1, but
yeah.
And I'll refresh, so I'll go there.
Sure.
And I'll rest. So 1 life and a draw.
Which is a good choice, I think, because he knows that I can cast again the lightning.
Yeah.
That will make deal 5 again this time.
4.
Well, 4 plus the focus counter.
Yeah, so it's 5.
Okay, so it's my turn now. Beginning of turn, I get the potion that brings me up to 11 again. Some annoying life gain. Draw a card. Okay, that's a nice card, but I don't really need it. So what I'll do, I need to get into range of within radius 3 to be able to do it again. So I'll move by 1, and then I'll use my hero ability. So once per turn, I may remove a card from my hand. So I'll remove a card from the game. We'll just turn it aside to play 1 card from my discard pile. So I will play again Lightning, and by doing so, I lose 1 endurance. So I lose 1 endurance, and now I have a pretty nice Lightning hop again for 5 magical.
Bazoom.
So that's it. He takes 5, he couldn't do anything. I lose 1 more endurance because of the card. So I'm down to 9. End of turn. Focus will grow even bigger.
Yeah, so
That's your turn.
reactivates, draw. Okay. Well, I'll move 2.
At least I don't have any attack in my discard pile yet.
Yeah, that's gonna help, and I'll play. Cunning Slap. No, I'll do
No,
the.
you can't.
Nah.
You can't, you're gonna die.
Well, I'll do Cunning Slash.
Alright.
I deal 2 damage to 1 damage up to 2, and if it hits, I can search my deck for an action card.
Yeah, I guess I'll block it.
Yeah.
Which will make sense, I think. Alright. I don't want you to search your deck for any card and play it.
And that's gonna be it.
Yeah, you still have refresh. So if you want to do anything else, no, well, you might rest because you don't have anything else to do anyway.
Well, why not?
Yeah, but I'm gonna just hit your face now.
Well,
All right, so that's my turn. I'll gain my life up to 10. I'll draw a card, and what I'll do, I don't have any attack in hand, but he's only at 2. So I'm gonna use the innate skill that let me just hit my opponent. So I just punch him by placing a card under my deck. That will deal him 2 physical damage, and that will be game. I think it's a little humiliating to die being hit by a wizard, but
well, even if I hadn't refreshed, she would have killed me the same way.
yeah.
Because I had no cards in it. So
No, exactly, but it's just fun to. Okay, so my weak wizard is just punching you to your face, and that's it.
Well, the rogue isn't that stronger either. It's,
Yeah, I guess so. But that would have worked on the brutes too. So.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for the game. So I've won that one. And I think that showed pretty much everything about the game. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. And of course, if we play a 2 versus 2 player game, it lasts a little longer and it's a little more chaotic. There's a lot more action that happens around the field. But yeah, I think that shows it well. So I really believe it's a really fun game to play. We just play very often. We've been working on this game since almost 3 years now. And we just keep playing over and over again, and we always enjoy it, and it's always pretty much very tight games. So it's fairly balanced. I think the Wizards are slightly stronger in that first set, but anyway, the other sets will have everything covered, so don't worry about that. But yeah, it's always different, so we don't get bored, and there's so many strategies. Every game is really, really different. With that being said, what we're planning to do with the company. So right now we're working for a crowdfunding campaign that should happen in probably in May. We've got all the authorization, everything to get started with it, but we're getting some extra delays because we're about to conclude agreements with other associates that will just make it better. So we're just waiting to have all these things before we confirm everything with you. And also about this game, I think it's good to mention that it's all Canadian from the conception even to the printing. So we print everything in Canada. Everything will be 100% Canadian, so we won't get the tariffs that are shadowing the entire world right now and all those things. So I think it's really interesting if you're in Canada. If you're not, well, we're still gonna show this game to the entire world, and hopefully we'll be able to grow. Another thing, we want to do this game with people. We're a small company, and I think that has a very, very big advantage because that lets us get really close to you, and that even allows us to get all the material, everything at a very lower price because we don't have many fees to cover and all that. So we'll be able to sell this game for a booster pack. That's pretty much like the common units whenever we talk about trading card games. So booster packs should be around $5 Canadian in pretty much all their store you'll go. So that's very cheap compared to the other game, and that still lets us do a fair margin to get new products and all that. So I think that is great. We'll focus too to build some partnership with all the local game store around the world. So we'll make sure to provide the place where you'll play this game, some extra content, nice stuff. We'll try to manage to have a Friday night or Sunday afternoon, I don't know, but those kind of special events that will happen over time. That's something I really believe in. That's what really got me into card game when I was younger. That's something that I feel we're losing over time. It's not the same magic that happened anymore in those places. So we'll try to offer all our local game store a lot of stuff to make that happen again. So hopefully that will work and you'll enjoy it. We are also planning to do some pro play programs. The way we see it, unlike most games, we're gonna grow the pro play program. That's hard to say with you guys. So the way we're gonna do that is the more we sell products, the bigger the cash outs will be at those events whenever we get started. Of course, we'll need to have a minimum sales to get that started because it costs a lot to get this ongoing. But as soon as that will happen, we'll make sure that if we sell a lot of games, if there's a lot of players, we'll make sure that you'll get better payouts during those nice events that will happen all around the world eventually, and hopefully this year. Well, not in 2025, of course, because we will never have time, but for 2026, let's say that everything launched well. We might even get started with the Pro Tour, or call it whatever, however you want, starting real soon. So we hope that. It's still a dream right now, but I think that we have a great product that will make that come true. And so we've got great comments everywhere we went to try it. If you're into it, if you like it, and if you watch it, let's say at that time of the year, when February 2025, we'll go around some Canadian places in the next week. So we'll just look at our website and you'll see we're going into some Quebec cities, and then we'll go into Ontario at some other places. So hopefully we'll see you there. And I think that covers pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think so.
So we'll just hand that now, and we'll probably just play a few more games. So thank you very much, guys. I know this is a long video, but hopefully you'll learn and we'll answer all your correct questions. If that's not the case, don't hesitate to contact us on our website, on our Facebook page, or even knock at my door if you know where I live. So don't be afraid to do that. We'll be quite happy to talk with you again. So thank you, guys. Have a good one.